So this is my video on common problems that students have when they're giving opinions. I'm looking at the subject matter les matières, so for school subjects, but you could use it for any subject. So let's have a look at the first example. J'adore l'histoire parce que c'est amusant. Okay, I love history because it's fun. Now if we use c'est, we just have to use a masculine adjective in the singular form afterwards. Okay, so masculine singular afterwards, because we don't need to worry about whether this is masculine or feminine. C'est refers back to having the class, I guess, in this case. However, if we want to show that we know how to do adjective agreements, we could say j'adore l'histoire. L'histoire est amusante. So we're showing here with our adjective that we know that histoire is feminine by adding an e on the end. Obviously, if it was plural, we'd put an s on the end, and an es if it was feminine plural. So masculine plural would just be an s, feminine plural es. Okay. But if we're doing the plural, we'd have to say sont, okay, rather than e in here. And then our last example, where we link the two sentences together with parce que. J'adore l'histoire parce qu'elle est amusante, because it is fun. We use elle to replace histoire, so the subject pronoun elle, it in the feminine form, so elle. If it was masculine, it would be il. So for example, latin is masculine, so we'd say parce qu'il est amusant. But again, we have to agree our adjective amusante, because we're talking about histoire, and also we're using elle at the beginning here. Okay, you could say j'adore l'histoire parce que l'histoire est amusante, but you're repeating histoire quite a lot, so we could replace it here. This example here, les maths sont ennuyeuses. Common problem with this one, in the fact that maths in French is plural. So in English we say maths is boring, but in French they say maths are boring. Okay. Not that you'd say that necessarily, obviously, but it's just as an example. And also because it's feminine, we use the feminine form of ennuyeux to ennuyeuse. So the singular would be without the s, plural on the s there because maths is plural. So les maths sont ennuyeuses, or sont ennuyeuses if you want to do liaison. La biologie est très intéressante. So again, I've given you another example of how we agree our adjectives, intéressante with an e on the end. And I've given you an intensifier or adverb of degree here, très. So la biologie est très intéressante. Biology is very interesting. And here is a masculine form, but this time we're using super. So le latin est super intéressant. It's really, really interesting. Est super intéressant. Okay. Again, well, not again, but you don't need to agree the adjective here because Latin is masculine. And then our last one, le dessin est ennuyeux, okay, or est ennuyeux. I've given you the masculine form of boring here, and dessin because it's masculine, we use the masculine form. If it was plural, the ending here would be the same. If it was plural masculine, it would be the same as this. Okay, and this is the plural feminine form. Okay. Right, let's have some practice then. So you've got 8 to do. Have a go at translating them into French, and then we'll go over the answers in a minute. Okay, donc numéro 1, j'adore le français, c'est facile. Okay, so we're using c'est facile to get away from the idea of agreeing an adjective. C'est facile. J'aime l'espagnol parce que c'est amusant. J'aime l'espagnol parce que c'est amusant. Again, we're using c'est, so we don't need to worry about the adjective here. Je n'aime pas la géographie. La géographie est difficile. Okay. Je déteste l'anglais. C'est ennuyeux. I guess you could say here, il est ennuyeux, because English is masculine. So il est ennuyeux. We can do different ones up here, but I've given you some. I've just used c'est for most of these first ones, just to make it slightly easier for you. Right, and now we're using different pronouns now. So, mon ami aime l'allemand parce que, or we could use car, because c'est amusant, or because we know that German is masculine, we could use il est amusant. Amusant, sorry. Il est amusant. Again, we're using different pronouns here. Nous adorons la musique parce qu'elle est amusante. Musique is feminine because it's la. Right? And so we're using parce qu'elle est amusante, the elle replacing la musique. Or you could say parce que c'est amusant, and then we don't need to worry about the adjective. Mon frère déteste la chimie. Je pense que la chimie est ennuyeuse. Now the thing here is that in English we drop the that. So I think that chemistry is boring rather than I think chemistry is boring. Okay, so we need to put the that in, the que here in French. Chimie, feminine, so we use the feminine form boring, ennuyeuse. Mon frère déteste la chimie. Je pense que la chimie est ennuyeuse. And the last one, longer one for this one. J'aime les maths parce qu'elles sont assez intéressantes. So I've given you an intensifier here, quite interesting. Intéressante because it's feminine and it's plural. Elles sont, elles because maths is plural, all right, and feminine. So the elles replaces les maths. Okay, so they, feminine. Mais elles sont un peu difficiles. So another intensifier, un peu difficile with an extra s on the end. So we've got, because it has to agree with maths and they here in this case. Or you could put parce que c'est assez intéressant, mais un peu difficile, to try and, if you need to avoid changing the adjectives. Okay, hope you've got the hang of that. If you need some more help, ask in class.